Chris, one of your positions is International Ambassador, Urban Ambassador for IPE, where your role is to connect IPE with the leading international networks, particularly cities networks and urban networks. Give us some of your immediate thoughts how you are proposing to do that, and what value would it bring it to the institutions, and particularly the research and the policy area they're going to influence for urban India.
Look, I think every city, every country needs to absorb ideas from other parts of the world. We're not all that special and that different that we can't learn from other areas. And I think, therefore, I can see a really vital role to bring in examples of case studies in the Australian context, where we've had cities growing quite fast, and how we've put in new metro rail lines, broken cities up into smaller subsections, looked at the way to mix uses up, a whole host of things that I think others can learn from. But also people like myself in my various roles have looked quite a lot at other parts of the world. We've had conferences we've run, which I've organised, where we've had people from New York and London to come and talk about the latest ideas from there. And it's that cross-fertilisation of ideas that really stimulates future directions. So I can see that that's something I would like to deliver to IPE, to encourage that cross-fertilisation of ideas, to extract from London, from New York, from Singapore, from Sydney, from other parts of the world, ideas around future directions of cities. And obviously you don't just copy something from somewhere else, but it stimulates local ways of reacting that can be very powerful. So I applaud IPE for making this connection. The ambassador role, the visiting professor role, to try to open up dialogue. And I'm very keen and very happy to contribute as much as I can to make that successful.
Chris, you have been very connected to India. You have done 4 and 5 publications, particularly on the cities and the urban part of India. You have been going to India for a number of years and traveled extensively in India. That connection also brings a very good value proposition to some of the recent discussions happening at Australia-India, where India is now identified at the highest level as one of the important economic partners, not only just in a commerce but in a cultural sense as well. Where do you think that connection would be helpful for institutions like IPE in forging much better and a meaningful connection between Australia and India?
Well, look, one obvious area is encouraging more exchange of students between both countries, and students at university level or higher levels who are researching and trying to understand different issues. There's even the potential to get joint degrees, for instance, half Australia, half India. And we have many people from India here in Australia, and many people from Australia who've gone to India. And I've spent quite a lot of time myself exploring different parts of India, and I even got a special master's degree looking at the way Delhi had multiple cities. 7, sometimes, some people even say 17 cities, from Shah Jahanabad to the Kuranapila and various other areas to Kalabad, and how that structure evolved. And we can learn from that as much as learning it from yourself in India. So I think the evolution structure of cities, the way they sort of grow and change, is a fascinating topic. IPE, I think, can really engage in this. Australia, particularly over cricket, for instance, we have a shared interest, where often Australia wins, of course, but this may be disputed. But the two cultures, I think, come together in very powerful ways. And the way if we can further this even more, this would be a fabulous outcome, I think.
Chris, we just want to congratulate you again on your position, honorary position with IPE, and the institution certainly looking forward to work very closely with you, looking at the next stages of Australia-India relations, and particularly taking IPE at the next phase of their urban connection at the world level. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm very keen to be on board.